What's up, fellow Peak readers? In this video, I am going to rank the top 10 evil protagonist manhwa and novels I have read so far in terms of writing. If I missed something Peak, then let me know in the comments. In 10th place. Is this hot garbage? Returned after 10,000 years in hell. I remember reading people's comments saying how good it was and MC is evil in Reddit. And that raised my expectations really high. I was excited to read it. So I quickly downloaded all the chapters and started reading it. It has cool premise and amazing art. And that was only good things about this shit. It is mid. I don't understand. How can people enjoy this trash? What turned me off was MC is someone who has lived for 10,000 years, but his brain hasn't developed a bit. Only kids will think this moron is evil. Not recommended, don't waste your time. In number 9 is FFF Class Trash Hero. I read its manhwa like 4 or 5 years ago when I was just a frog at the bottom of the well. I mean, when I was still in my anime and manhwa phase. I enjoyed the story to the fullest at that time. Main character was a psycho, and I loved it. He killed his allies, killed the hero, and that elf at the auction. But now thinking back about this, I realized it was pretty mid. Main character's goal is so stupid. I mean, who would want to go back to Earth when the fantasy world has magic? The only thing I'd miss on this dying planet is probably the internet, and that's the end. And why does he want to return to Earth, you ask? Because he misses the flush toilet. Yeah, I kid you not. I guess that was supposed to be funny, but I didn't even crack a smile. Overall, mid for Peak readers. Amazing for frogs. In 8th place is Descent of the Demon God. If you don't know, this is a sequel to Nano Machine. If you liked Nano Machine, then you will like this too, because both are mid. In the first part, MC used to cut people's arms, and now he is ripping jaws out of both men and women. Which was cool to read at first, but this stupid shit happens in every 5 chapters. Which became annoying, really fast. Plot of this story is just main character slapping faces and ripping jaws out of NPCs. Overall mid, and in 7th place is I Am the Fated Villain. I have a very long history with this one. I will try to make it short. I remember reading its manhwa for the first time when it only had 3 chapters. It hooked me. In just 3 chapters, then I searched for more. I found 2 more chapters in Asura scans, then I found more in Raw sites. I read them through Google Translating. Once I caught up to Raw, I made the choice to read the novel, but to my surprise there were no English translation available. I searched through the internet, then I found a website called Novel Updates, and I was surprised that the novel had more than 1,000 chapters. I was so eager to read more of the story that I searched Chinese name and found an MTL site called MTL Nation, which is now shut down by the way. At that time I was just a frog and I couldn't read texts properly, so I copied the chapters and started posting on webnovel.com. So I could listen it. If you don't know, webnovel.com has text-to-speech feature or low-grade audiobook. I started to listen to it and reading it at the same time, but the more I read it, the more I realized that it was slowly becoming repetitive and boring. And now, even after 1,400 plus chapters, mid-change is still collecting Pokemon. Overall, good for Peak readers. Peak for mid readers. If you were wondering, my posted version has more than 16 million views on Webnovel. No, I didn't earn a single penny. Anyway, coming back to the topic. In 6th place is Mist Might Mayhem. It's written by the same author who wrote Nano Machine and both take place in the same universe. I guess that's the reason why both are mid. Plot armor for main character is too much. After main character took the revenge, it got boring for me. You can read it, I know most of you will like it. But romance low-key ruined it for me. Overall good novel for Peak readers. And in 5th place is Demonic Emperor. One of my first cultivation story. I first started with the manhwa and then the novel. It was cool and good at starting, but romance ruined for me. And it got boring after main character went to upper realm. It was kinda predictable. And manhwa art needs improvement. Overall a okay evil protagonist novel. In 4th place is Warlock of the Magus World. The only reason I even read it was I was suffering from side effects of reading Reverend Insanity. Though it is mid compared to mid Insanity, but way better than I've mentioned so far. Main character is neutral evil and I like it. No romance but harem, I like it, cause main character was evil and not a hypocrite. Overall masterpiece for mid readers. Peak readers can say it's mid. And in 3rd place is Sword God in the World of Magic. Just read the points in the screen. It could have been peak. Main character was to my liking, but ending was ass. Ignoring the ending, it is a solid 8.8 out of 10 for Peak readers. And in 2nd place is Regressor Instructional Manual. It used to my favorite novel. I also have some history with this one. I first read its manhwa when it was freshly released. And like 20 chapters. It hooked me from the start because the concept was refreshing and interesting. MC was smart and cunning. And once I caught up with the manhwa, I read it, its novel, and it did not disappoint me. Maka's plans and scheming were eye-opener for me at my first time witnessing such a shameless protagonist. What I liked about the novel was the main character was actually putting some efforts on making girls fall for him, not some fucking hero save the beauty bullshit. And protagonist wasn't a 10-year-old Ash Ketchum who doesn't know his Pokemon want to ride time. Even after all their years, this novel holds a special place in my heart. And the manhwa adaptation is an insult to the novel. They fucking ruined it by adding unnecessary memes and comedy in it. Better read the novel. I have also posted this novel on webnovel.com, and it had more than 4 million views, but sadly it got deleted. And these are all the novels I've posted in webnovel.com. Nah, I don't post nowadays as I have found a better alternative to listen to audiobooks. And now, the first is, you may have already predicted it. It's The Peak the Fiction, one of the greatest achievement in the history of mankind. Reverend the Peak Insanity. Just read it as I would lack words to explain why this is so good. Just know that this novel will eat what I have mentioned so far in breakfast. It has everything you could ever ask for. Not romance, though. And advice for those who are going to read R.I.: don't try to relate or understand the main character. He is someone you shouldn't try to mimic.